You might be surprised by my answer, but time in the markets is an incredibly difficult thing to do. You know, if we think about, you know, you look at a market, before you know it, it's moved. You know, hence the reason I had the screen behind my laptop this morning to keep an eye there. I think the importance, you know, what's an opportunity? Well, think about your goal. Think about what you want to achieve. Think about where you are relative to that goal, and think about, you know, your circumstance. Have you got the ability to get closer to that through a top up? I think, you know, time in markets in terms of looking at what certain indices are at and working on that way. You know, overall, you know, we've had a significant market event this year, and there was a lot of opportunity in that. But think about your goal. Think about where you are relative to your personal investment goal and work towards that.
So I think as well as don't be, I know this might sound quite contradictory, because obviously you need money to live. And I think when people see their investments in a market, a bad market situation, people see their investments begin to tank. They'll panic. They might, do you know what I mean? Right, I need to get my money out. I can't lose more than I've put in. It's not going to be worth what I need it to be. And obviously they can use their apps and they can use their websites to stay up to date with that. So with that said, we have spoken quite a bit about Impulse Save. And there are other means, of course, to top up. If you have an existing investment with a particular provider, you can transfer it into your True Potential portfolio by using the app or the client website. But we haven't really mentioned a lot about kind of direct debits. So again, me and Jenny saving the pounds and the pennies through Impulse Save. Rebecca, if a client was to come to you and say, how I want to top up, and yes, I know how to use Impulse Save, I've used that, but is there a more kind of structured way? How would you recommend that they do that through direct debit?
So direct debits can also be set up through their site. So we would suggest that a client logs in and they click into the policy that they want to pay their direct debit into. They can pay direct debits into multiple if they wish, but select their chosen policy. Once they're in that policy, you're going to see all of the overhead information, which Jenny mentioned earlier on, so that performance values, current value, etc. And just underneath that, you've got edit monthly investment. Client would click on that, and it's just a straightforward fill in your banking information. So tell us which account you want us to take that money from, check the boxes to agree to the mandate, and then through you go. Tell us which date you want us to take it out on, and that's it all done. It's that easy. Yeah. And then we'll continue to take that on your chosen day every month going forwards, unless you tell us otherwise. Yeah. And it's probably worth mentioning as well, there's also some tools on the site. So if you're not quite sure how much you should be paying in, if you've got a target in mind and you've not quite decided how much should I be paying in per month to get to that target, there's projection tools on the site as well, which can help you figure that out.
So George, what difference would that make to a client? So we might have clients that have multiples of hundreds of thousands of pounds that can invest them immediately, and that's kind of one lump sum. And then you've got those direct debits or the Impulse Saves coming in consistently into a client account. What difference would that make to the client's investment value?
I think it comes back to, I mentioned pound cost averaging before. I think it comes back to that. In, you know, if pound cost averaging, there's many different definitions. Some of it looks at regret aversion. So if you were to put a significant amount of money in at the top of the market, then, you know, the next day you may feel a little bit disheartened. Putting it in incrementally, so using whether it's a direct debit or using Impulse Save, however you want to access that, you've got the ability to access different unit prices over different points in time. So it can be a powerful way of compounding returns over the longer term.
Great. So it's always beneficial. I think obviously we work in finance, we hear this daily. And it's beneficial for clients to invest consistently just to keep the momentum going as well, because I think it's like anything else you do. If you get out of the habit, it's really hard to get back into it. Whereas as soon as you see your investments or your savings, as people would refer to them, begin to grow, you tend to begrudge then doing anything with it. You might have it earmarked, like Jenny's saying, she might have she's closer to her ISA goal. I'm not going to ask what that is. Closer to her ISA goal and her pension goal. And I think that's because often you do look and see your pension is like retirement age is so far away that you have an immediate goal. And I think as soon as you can see that you're getting closer to that goal, you do want to keep up the momentum rather than just kind of letting it all go. So Jenny, how do you feel about that side of things from an investment point of view?
From an investment point of view, I think the direct debit is great. I think it's, you know, it's a consistent way to save into, whether it be a pension, whether it be an ISA, whether it be, you know, a general investment account. It's kind of having that structure within your monthly kind of, you know, your income really to what you spend, to put it in and consistently save. You know, and I think from an investment point of view, from the processing side, you know, as soon as somebody goes onto the website, you know, like Rebecca's just said, and they, you know, request that they want to start contributing, there's no person kind of behind the scenes here at TP to kind of sit and manually enter all those details into the system to set up the direct debit. It's all done kind of through the interface with the work that, you know, your development team do, Diane. And that kind of means that, you know, it's straight through processing. So it's not going to take us 5, 6, 7 days to think about, you know, oh, I've got to get round to, you know, this client's direct debit to set it up. It goes straight through. So I think that's a great thing for us as well. But what I would also say, and I'm going to go back to Impulse Save, so apologies.
That's all right. That's up to you.
I think as well, you know, the great thing about Impulse Save is that if you do have that little bit extra, you know, say at the end of the month, and I think we'll all probably agree that I've not been commuting to work, so I've naturally saved petrol money over, you know, the time we've been working from home. So having that little bit extra that really we've got nothing to spend on because we can't go anywhere, we can't do anything. That's kind of what's been going into my ISA as well, but via Impulse Save. And, you know, you may feel that, you know, you can't commit to that every month, but that 1 month you can. And having Impulse Save there, it allows you to kind of, it probably pushes you more to say, okay, I am going to put that into my ISA or my pension, as opposed to thinking, okay, well, it's only for 1 month. I'm not going to bother anyone by saying, okay, you know, hi, True Potential, please can you change my direct debit for 1 month because I've got an extra £10 or £20 or £50. So again, I think Impulse Save again comes into its own.
Subscribing to True Potential YouTube channel is quick and easy. Simply go to your YouTube app on your phone, type in True Potential and press the red subscribe option. You'll then be notified as and when new videos are released.